is one of the most colorful and creative figures in modern pop culture. Yet he is also one of the most mysterious and perhaps one of the most misunderstood. Prince. The world knows of his musical genius, but knows little about the man. During this program, we'll look back on his early years and get a rare personal glimpse of the real Prince through the eyes of some of the people that knew him best. The cousin Prince formed his first band with. The producer who wrote lyrics for his early songs. The manager responsible for Prince's first recording contract. We'll talk to family, friends, associates, and critics of the budding superstar. We'll hear their remarkable stories as we track the evolution of Prince's genius and capture a memorable portrait of one of pop music's most influential artists, Prince. In 1984, a young and controversial recording artist from Minnesota took the entertainment world by storm with Purple Rain, a best-selling record and movie. Prince had arrived. One man, many instruments, and an empire built on music, sex, salvation, integration, high fashion, hard work, and genius. Musical genius can spring from anywhere, but with Prince, it sprouted in an extremely unlikely place, a northern American city surrounded by farmland and rivers. Born on June 7, 1958, the future king of rock slipped into the world at Mount Sinai Hospital in South Minneapolis. The first son of Mattie and John Nelson, who named him Prince Roger Nelson, after his father's jazz trio, the Prince Rogers Trio. At an early age, Prince displayed his own musical talent, first banging on pots and pans, and later learning the themes from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Batman on his dad's piano. Music, no doubt, provided the young Prince with some much-needed comfort when his parents divorced, and he was shuttled around between homes of friends and relatives. It was in this house in North Minneapolis where Prince finally found a home and a surrogate mother, Bernadette Anderson. Here he joined musical forces with Bernadette's son, Andre, and Prince's cousin, Chaz Smith.
So we grew up really tight and started playing. He played piano and I played drums. And we kind of kicking it around the house a lot, making noise and trying to sound like Michael Jackson. 11 years old, we weren't supposed to go to Parade Stadium to see Sly and the Family Stone. We went anyways, and they had cut through the fence. And we snuck in. We weren't even supposed to be in there, but then that's when I think we all looked at each other and said we wanted to do this for a living.
Black radio, or the lack of it in the Twin Cities, helped shape Prince's early music. The only funk or modern R&B he heard came from a poorly powered community radio station called KMOJ.
Grand Central was derived from the group Grand Funk, actually, because we played a lot of their music. They had an album out called Flight to Phoenix. For white guys, they were so funky. I mean, they had the power of the guitar player doing all the chords and doing solos at the same time. Mark Farner controlled the band, and that's what Prince wanted, and that's what we liked about it, man. It was so cool.
Places for a band of underage black kids to play in were few and far between.
Basically, you could only get handout gigs, we call them. Like, we'd set up in the backyard of our next-door neighbors and just start playing it at 9 o'clock at night, and there'd be so many people in the yard, the police had to be called. And they'd have to disband us, so people would see us and they'd go, will you play at our wedding, or will you play at the YMCA? We always played for Andre's mother because she worked at the YWCA, so whenever there were gigs, even if we didn't want to do them, she'd say, you guys are playing March 3rd at the Y. Okay, we'll be there. the band everybody started maturing and getting kind of big-headed. And an incident I remember specifically that Prince wanted to be the leader. At first it was all of us one for all, and all for one it seemed we wanted to bring in another member from Flight Time that was having problems with him. His name is David Allen. They call him Batman. We wanted to get him because he's an incredibly talented saxophone player to this day. But we wanted him in the band, and we went to Prince to get him in. We said, man, this would be a great opportunity to get this guy in the group. And Prince said no. And we kind of then said, oh, if Prince doesn't want him, well then we, and from then on, Prince kind of realized that the power that he had harnessed, we didn't really know that we were actually giving it to him, but we really did let him know that, like, man, if he quits, then it's whatever he says goes.
The growing pains continued. Before long, Chaz was replaced on drums by a brash new kid at school named Morris Day.
One day I come from football practice and my drums are moved over, and Morris's little wood set that I see in his house is there. And of course I was devastated because these were like my brothers.
The band was Grand Central, consists of William Dowdy, which he was a percussionist. Linda Anderson, which is Andre Anderson's sister, was keyboard player. Morris Day was on the drums. Andre Anderson was on bass. And Prince Rogers Nelson was on guitar. And I remember working with them the first day, and I asked them to play me one of their songs. And they sang a song, I don't remember the name of it, and everybody was saying words different. Everybody was saying something different. Like, you remind me of me, and this guy's going, well, you remind me of she, and this guy, you remind me of he. It wasn't those words, but that's just an example. And I made them all put down their instruments and come forward. And I asked Prince, I said, well, Prince, just grab your guitar, we'll do the guitar, and we'll do vocals so that we can work on harmonies and getting those things right. And Prince started playing, and we started singing and things like that. And this is how we really started getting the group really tight.
Chris Moon, a flamboyant would-be music producer, was searching for a collaborator while recording bands for free on a 4-track recorder in his basement.
And at the time there was a group in the studio recording called Champagne. And Andre Simone and Prince and, the whole group. And so I pulled Prince aside after a session one day, and I said, look, I got this idea. I'd like to sit down and talk to you about it. So he came back that evening after the group had left, and we started talking deals. My idea is that, hey, why don't we get together, why don't we team up, combine our resources, combine our talents, and I'll teach you how to record, and I'll teach you how to produce, and I'll teach everything I know, and, I'll produce a demo tape for you. And if it goes somewhere great, if it doesn't, then we both learn from the process. But if we get something out there, I don't want to contract with you, I don't want to put any of this on paper, because I want this an agreement of the heart, not an agreement of the paper. And if something goes somewhere, all I want is just that you credit my name on the songs that you end up using. And I think that he thought 2 or 3 fractions of a second and nodded his head. I recall there wasn't a long oratory response to the question, just a head nod. And that was the beginning of the agreement. So I reached into my pocket and pulled up my keychain, and here's this little 16-year-old,